Okay everyone, here we are for a demo of our smartphone simulation. First thing I'll do is run it in the app on my computer. Here it is, we pulled it up. Here we are, we're only going to highlight a few lines as they're required. I'm not going to do a line by line unless that's requested by a lot of people. As for now, all we want to demonstrate is that everything is an illusion and not what it appears to be. So let's get with it. Beginning on the first page of code, which we're on, this prepares all of the hardware and software system to do what we want to do, so we can demonstrate a smart home IoT, which is on our Arduino, and our smartphone application. Let's look down at the bottom here at line 28 and 29. These two lines, all we do is they set up the colors for background and foreground. On this line, we're setting up the opening window that we're going to see when we run it. It just simply says it's a window that's 300 pixels wide and 630 pixels tall. Let's go to the draw. This only draws everything in the window that we pop up. It doesn't control anything. We'll throw it up on the screen so you can see it. Everything on the screen is done by this page and this page only. You can see here the title. We call up the title. We call up the positioning of the text. That positions all of the white text on the screen. And then we print the TX/RX, which is these two boxes. The code down here is going to be able to change what's on the screen. It's going to be able to change the boxes whether they're filled or not filled, which indicates whether something is on or off. But remember, nothing on this page actually changes any of the pins on the Arduino. And even right now, we have our very first illusion. The illusion is that this is a steady picture. It's not. This is a dynamic video that is updating the screen 60 times every second. And you can see that because I can click on things. Anything I want to do on here. The only way I can change those boxes is if the picture is changeable. It's a video. Here we are in the mouse section. There are two parts, this top part and this bottom part. The top part, these two lines have to do with checking to see where is our pointer. On a particular line, we want to be able to do something when we tap it. Okay, how does that do it? That goes down to the bottom section of the screen down here, and it's mainly to do with this question right here. If it's low, meaning it's off, then I want to go to this part of the code. I want to change it to high. The first line does that. The second line simply informs our draw of how to change the box. On line 15, it would be saying, we'd point to a box that was empty or off, and I'd say, well, I want to make it on, and so I do. Now, if it's not low, it's obviously high, and if it's high, I want to go down to these two lines of code, in which case I want to change it to low. This line here is actually changing the pin to low or off. And this line informs the draw to empty the box. Now let's return to the draw code. What is happening? We rewrite the title. Remember, this is updated at 60 times a second, so we're going to rewrite the title. So that's this line. We're going to rewrite all of the text. And then we're going to redraw these two boxes. Then we're going to finish up by updating as required. And that's what these lines do. We say if a pin line, we're gonna, this line says go through all the pins. This line says if we're on this pin and it's already high, I want to make it the foreground. And if in the beginning I ask and it's low, what do we want to do? I want to fill it with the background. Okay, which is emptying the box. We go through them all. So we make I go from 2 all the way up to 13, and we check every pin one by one and we update it. Now, these two lines, number 19 and 23, I want to change it to the foreground here, unless it's pin number 8. I want to change it back. So I want to fill it unless it's pin number 8. I want to empty it. Down here I do the opposite. I want to empty it unless it's pin 8. I want to fill it. Now why is that? Well, that's another illusion. The illusion comes because when I ordered those parts on a relay, you can order it to be active when high or active when low. I had ordered a bunch active high, but a couple of them came in active low. That's okay. I can flip it around. I can just say, I just inverse the logic. I just say, if it's high, assume it's low. If it's low, assume it's high. And it changes it. So what happens if I change them? Well, let's take a look. If I come in here, we're running it as normal. And I have the entrance lock with the light. That's the relay. On and off. It's like when it's on, filled. When it's off, it's empty. However, what happens if I take the code out? I'll remove those two lines. You can do that just by putting a couple of these in. And now let's run it. As you can see, it says it's on. The filled says it's on. We can see that it's not on, it's off. Now it's on, but it's empty, meaning it's off. It's backwards. Totally useless, but it just shows you why I've put those two lines of code in. If they were the proper relays, I wouldn't have to put those two lines in, and that's all they do. But just imagine if somebody had changed the code. Just change those two lines and now our application lies to us. Wow, isn't that wonderful? So you can see that just changing little tiny bits of the code can completely falsify what our application reports to us. Bad information can be very serious, and it's very easy to change once someone has gotten into your phone, which is not as hard as you think it is. There's some security, but no security is ultimate security. Phones get broken into all the time. Apps get broken into all the time. And like I said, I could change things and it could be disastrous.